Comes a creeping and I can't stick around. I'm running till the heart gives out. We keep on running. I keep on running. I see you running. Running till the heart gives out. Let's hear it, Joe. You gon' know when it's cold and on south. If you're lucky, then for dinner we will cook up a trout. We can build up a fire so we can all sing around. Let's listen to cicadas and the guitar sounds. We're running till the heart gives out. I keep on running. We keep on running. I see you running. The heart gives out. We keep on running. I see you running. We keep on running. Running till the heart gives out.
All right, everyone. Welcome back to another Coyote Radio Show and Podcast. We got some great guests today. Keith and Sparrow, Resonant Rogues is with us, and we are live at Duke's Indy tonight. First time in Indiana, right?
First time in Indianapolis. We played in Bloomington and Goshen, Indiana.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I got an old friend up there, so.
I think we'll hold that a little.
Oh
yeah. I haven't seen you guys yet, and I've obviously been following you for a long time and talked to you, and been a huge fan. Love what you're doing for the music scene in general. I think a lot. I was telling my wife earlier today that I always felt like if I was in a band right now, this would be the style I would want to go for. Especially the clawhammer skills. I'm loving it.
Yeah, you play banjo, right?
Well, playing is one thing, just beating on it and making noise is another.
I saw that band. That's a handmade in North Carolina banjo that you got, Mulhern, right? Lindsay Lyden.
Yes. Shout out to Lindsay. He's a beast.
Yep.
So you got your new record out.
Yep.
Kind of fill us in on that process, and you guys can kind of bounce back and forth.
We recorded at a bomb shelter in Nashville.
Okay.
And we did to tape recording, and got lots of special guests on it. We're really happy with it. It's kind of like, I feel like it was a lot of songs that we wrote pre-pandemic that we kind of just set aside for a while, waiting for the right time, and then we had some new songs come up, and we did a couple re-recordings of some older songs, and it's kind of a mix of stuff.
Yeah, I feel like it's man, it's not just one genre or lane. It's like you guys dabble in a lot of things, but somehow it all meshes really well, blends nicely, and I'm sure it makes for a great show in general. You know, you got your upbeat songs, you got some of your lowers, and a variety of instruments. So I'm sure you're thrilled with it.
Yeah, we just have a lot of, we have a very diverse taste, you know, both of us do, and we like a lot of the same styles of music, but we like a lot of styles of music, you know, but the thing that kind of ties it together is that vintage aesthetic. You know, we mostly love older music, and so it was really great to be at the Bomb Shelter, which kind of specializes in that sound, in the analog sound. And so working with that particular studio and with that particular engineer and producer, Andrea, he really helps kind of make it all tie together with the sound.
Yeah, I've heard great things about the Bomb Shelter for years now, and proof is out there. I mean, everything that's coming out of there is great.
Oh my gosh, yeah, John R. Miller, Melissa Carper, Lost Dog's new album that's going to be coming out. The Deslons, everything the Deslons have recorded, and
All kinds.
hooray for the Riff Raff.
What do you think it is about going to tape on, you know, versus digital? Is it like a historical feel? Obviously, it does sound different. You can tell.
Yeah, it affects both the way that it actually sounds, but it's beyond that, because it's not just, you can make things sound however you want digitally, and you can put all kinds of effects on things so that they sound vintage, but there's something about the recording process of recording straight to tape and the way that you have to do that. You really don't do very many takes. It kind of captures a live feel. We mostly only did 2 takes per song, sometimes 3 takes per song, and then you choose the take, and then you go through and you do your dubs and you're done, you know. And so it has this immediacy that I feel like is really special.
Yeah, I didn't think of it like that. Yeah, because I feel like in the digital world, like, you could totally overthink it, like, too much to where you can sabotage your own record by accident.
Big time. I think we're guilty of that at some point, but yeah.
Yeah, everyone is, I'm sure, to some degree. But I kind of got ahead of myself there just because I'm just excited about the record, you know, that's been out. But one of you back up and kind of tell me, how did you guys form and where you're located?
Well, we formed in Asheville. Technically, we met in Asheville, but we formed in New Orleans. I was passing through Asheville about 11 years ago, and I was still a tramp. I was like just fresh off the road, kind of grown up a little bit and wanted to get off the road, but wasn't quite there yet. But I met Sparrow. She was making a solo record at the time, and she invited me to record with her in a few days after we met, and I was like, all right, sure, let's go. And we did that, and then we kind of, exactly. So I don't know, one thing led to another, and we had chemistry too, you know. Like right with the music, we also had chemistry, and one thing led to another. I went back to New Orleans just because that was my plan anyway, and eventually she kind of met me down there, and we started a band, and you probably have more insight. That's kind of
That's the gist of it.
But we've been based in North Carolina, Western North Carolina, this whole time, and touring quite a bit.
Yeah, that's great. I'm sure that's difficult to be in a relationship and be in a band at the same time.
Pros and cons.
I don't know if it's more difficult to be in a relationship with someone you're in a band with, or to be in a relationship and not be in a band together, because that would be kind of hard too, to be away from your sweetheart on the road. I mean, I'm sure, you know, we have challenges just like any couple ever does, but you work with your partner too, right?
Yeah.
With your wife?
Oh, yeah.
So you learn how to get along, and you figure it out. Yeah. And there's also that closeness that comes with getting to have your life together.
Right.
So
you guys have been at it for a long time, making music. What are you most proud of? Would you say, I mean, that's a big question, but you've done a lot in the past 12 years or whatever it's been.
I'd say for me, one of the things that keeps kind of coming up for me recently is that the thing I want most of all is just to be beloved in my scene and to like support my friends and be part of this incredible community. I love like teaching dance lessons and just like promoting events and making things happen and teaching lessons and hoping that also my music is something that people really feel strongly and relate to, and something that can maybe help them through hard times or help them through celebrations or whatever that, just like that, that feeling of being part of something bigger than yourself.
Very rewarding, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head. And when someone comes up to you and talks about a specific song that was important to them or something, that means a lot, that's the kind of stuff that has a lot more value than just having people at your show. It's like if you have people who genuinely really are affected by what you wrote and it helps them, that's the best.
Yeah, I mean, obviously on this show I've had several different genres of country music, and it's just overall it's been really good. Like everyone's very nice to one another for the most part, gets along, even if it's nothing like their music. They understand each other because they're in the same sort of business deal. So I've kind of found myself in a weird spot amongst musicians, and I've made so many friends on the show. That's the coolest thing that's happened. If nothing else in this podcast happens, not if 2 people listen to this today, I still just had a good time and met a lot of good friends. And,
and people listen.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. The streams are going up. I do got to mention, too, and you guys are unaware of this, this is episode 100.
Congratulations.
It's been a minute. So, thank you for being on. There is, a lot that's going on in the scene. What are your guys' plans for 2024? It's right around the corner. You're going to hit the road some more or record some more or write? What's kind of the...
Well, we're definitely going to hit the road. Watch for an announcement about some of that soon. It hasn't been announced yet. We still have some secrets up our sleeves. But, going to do some touring. We're building a house right now outside of Marshall, North Carolina, and we have one more story to go. And so this next year, getting the whole house dried in and siding on is like a big goal while we're home. And then we'll be touring a fair amount, have some jaunts planned for February, March, and then April and May, and still kind of working out the summer and end of the year. Have some kind of maybe things in the works, and seeing what gets confirmed there. And in the wintertime, we'll be home in January and February, and we have some fun stuff planned at our favorite dive bar. It's called the Double Crown, and we have some residencies there planned. That'll be real fun. February, first 3 weeks of February, we're doing Honky Tonk House Party with a covered dish potluck and free dance lessons, then a couple hours of our original music. So if you want to come visit Western North Carolina, Thursdays in February.
if the link's available, I will post that in the description if that's up and going yet. But
I mean, it's just it's a dive bar. You show up, you pay your $10, you come in, or you can bring a dish that feeds more than 10 people.
That's how I like it. That's awesome. I've been wanting to make it. I have never experienced the scene around Asheville at all yet. Drove by, but never been able to stay and visit and
it's pretty special.
Check it out.
It's pretty incredible.
I feel like would fit me well. Like I would like it a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, totally.
That's exciting.
Yeah, we have there's such an incredible tradition of music there with old time and bluegrass and ballad singing and all that kind of stuff. But there's also Asheville as a city has so many different kinds of music, and I do feel like people hang out with each other, even if you're not into the exact same kind of music, you can still respect each other as musicians. People support each other. People collaborate and do kind of things cross-genre. on a pretty regular basis. It's real fun.
Keith has nothing to add. Sorry, everyone. I only have 2 mics, so they got to share one. I got. Oh, we're working our way up. If you want to donate in the Patreon below, I could buy more mics. But I appreciate you guys being on. I know this was kind of a short, quick kind of thing, but we've been wanting to get on here for a while, I think.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having us.
Yeah. Well, I do want to ask you some more about the classes, though, that you do. Sparrow. What exactly, what kind of classes are we talking about? And where can you sign up for these? Or is this just like randomly when they're available?
Well, yeah, I mean, dance lessons, yeah, it's totally just kind of, it's when we can manage to do it. And we have a weekly event in Asheville called Western Wednesday. That's at the Double Crown. That's every week. And we just started teaching two-step as part of that this last year, just once a month. And started out first Wednesday of the month, and then our schedule's just nuts, so we just kind of started announcing it on Instagram the week before. But people show up. And then I also teach a lot of like banjo and accordion lessons.
Okay.
Too. And those
in person or online?
Some of them are in person or they're on Zoom. I do a lot of Zoom lessons, which is great for me because I live like way out in a holler. So it's like, you know, I have a couple students who come to my place and a few students who I go to their place who are in Western North Carolina, but do a lot of teaching online, and that works really well. So.
Good that you even have reception up there. It sounds like.
Oh yeah, we have fiber.
Yeah.
Our county got a grant about sending fiber internet to the rural area.
That's awesome.
So
cooperative too. So you buy in, you know, it's not like a big corporation or anything.
Yeah, our electric company is a co-op, and the internet goes through the electric company. So
okay.
I like those rural co-ops.
That's funny because you obviously see where I work at, and you know, there's a lot of people around. We're 2 miles from the interstate, and it's very hopping, and you know, a lot of things going on. And it wasn't until recent that we actually had internet that was worth a damn. We finally got fiber right there on that one street. You can call everyone around. That's fine. But our street, something just weird.
Well, we're at the very end. We're like pretty far out, so we're at the very end of what they have. We literally, like, if you go over the ridge, it's gone. So we lucked out.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm going to have to hop on and get a Zoom meeting sometime, teach me some banjo.
Heck yeah, I love it.
The right way.
I mean, right and wrong is very subjective on the banjo. It's kind of one of those instruments. It's a folk instrument, so it's kind of however you play it, you know. But it is good to. I take lessons pretty regularly, and I love to learn from different people. And even if somebody is kind of like parallel with you, you can always find things to learn from each other.
Right. What did you grow up on, like influence-wise? What did you listen to growing up?
So I actually listened to a lot of like classic rock and metal. My dad was like all up on that. He plays like shredding, like metal and dad rock and, you know, all that stuff. Yeah. He's like, so he got me on all that and that like rock and roll education. I didn't really discover country music until I was in my teens. But yeah, I'd say like my earliest stuff was more rock and metal and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you played as a teenager.
Yeah, I mean, I played in bands as a teenager. I grew up partially in Wisconsin with Jason Day West. We had like some bands when we were teenagers, kind of punk and rockabilly, kind of whatever stuff we came up with, you know. And I had a band with my dad that was basically all the stuff he was into. And I was a drummer. I was actually a drummer in both those bands.
Oh, that's awesome. It's a family band.
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in the metal and punk rock and all that. Actually, before that, I loved like R&B. I remember being like 5th grade buying a Boyz II Men album, you know?
Heck yeah.
But somehow I ended up just in the mosh pit. I don't know what happened where, but now I'm doing this stuff and love bluegrass. You know?
Yeah.
It happens.
I know, it happens a lot, actually.
What did you grow up on? What did you listen to?
So I grew up super close with my grandma, and I definitely grew up listening to a lot of kind of like popular music from like the 40s and 50s and early 60s and old jazz, and My dad also listened to a lot of metal, so had that around. And then I got into punk as a teenager and got real into that. But I've always had a big place in my heart for kind of the like older music and swing. A little bit of country was like just like around where I grew up, you know. So I would kind of like, that was one of the stations I would go to. But a lot of punk once I got to be a teenager and got to like really kind of listen to my own music. And I was into pop punk at first, and then kind of found a little bit more of the kind of more underground stuff, but then there was a big like folk punk boom. I grew up in like late 90s, early 2000s. And so actually like Bloomington, Indiana was like the infamous like folk punk mecca of the good kid folk punk. So
that's funny.
Yeah. And then as soon as I made it to North Carolina when I was 19, all the punks were playing old time. And that's how I got kind of really exposed to that and got really into that pretty much right away. That and being in New Orleans.
Yeah. It's funny, like, that old time music and bluegrass and stuff. I was talking to Cooper from Devil May 3, and we were like, you know, that stuff really was punk music back then. All those picking parties, bluegrassers getting in a circle and just doing a house show. That's how punk is at.
It's the people's music.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. So I guess it's not a stretch, you know, when you look at it. But, man. Well, thanks again. Where should people find your stuff? You got a website? All the social media links?
Yeah, we have a website. We're pretty active on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. Trying to do the TikTok thing, although I'm terrible at it too. Somebody teach me how to use it. Actually, no, I should just get off the internet more. But it's the next thing. You got to learn how to do it. And yeah, that's the main place. And yeah, streaming the music.
Right.
For sure.
Share, stream.
Yep. Share it, stream it, tell a friend. Tell a friend is the number one most important.
Yeah.
We have a Bandcamp page too, which is a great place. You can listen there, and then you can order all the stuff. We usually have our like T-shirts and physical merch on there too.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate it. I can't wait to see the show tonight. We're here at Duke's Indy. If you haven't heard about the venue, jump online, dukesindy.com. Lots of shows come through this little joint here in Indianapolis, so if you're traveling through the crossroads, stop on in. So thanks again, guys.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thanks for having us.